Hi everyone, this is Lori here from Lori Hooks. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So today is the progress video for the Hooked on Wreaths collaboration that I am doing with Rebecca over at Yarn and Pajamas. Rebecca's channel will be linked in the description box below. Please check her out if you have not already. She has lots of fun makes, and if you haven't been checking her out, please go give her a look-see. So this is a collaboration that we are doing for all of 2023. We are making a wreath for the seasons for each season this year. So this is the first wreath that we are doing, and this is the spring wreath. So spring is March 21st this year, so the plan is to have our spring wreaths finished to hang them up for March 21st for the first day of spring. And the wreath that I picked is this one from Repeat Crafter Me. This is a free pattern on her website. Please go give that one a check out too if you're interested. So I have some changes to the wreath, obviously some different colors because I am mostly working from my stash, and I'm also using a different weight of yarn. The pattern calls for a 4-weight yarn, and some of it I am doing, well, most of it I'm doing in DK because that's what I have. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the hook changes that I did, and we'll see my progress that I have on my wreath so far. So this pattern called for a 12-inch foam wreath, and I picked one up at Michael's. And the first step was to crochet over the wreath. So you make a strip and then sew it onto the wreath, which I have done. So this is my wreath with its crochet cover, and the yarn that I used for this is this Loops and Threads Impeccable that I picked up at Michael's, and this color of this was Fern. So we still have lots of left on my skein here, and that's what I have for it. So her pattern called for a 5mm hook, which is what I used for this. I also used her stitch count. The one thing that I didn't do that I should have done was when I read patterns on a website and it's got lots of pictures and advertising and stuff, sometimes I miss some of the words, and I did on this one. Somehow I missed where she had a row count. I thought it was just to keep going until it fit your wreath nicely. So I did, and I thought that it should be kind of stretched. So, but then later on when I was reading the pattern, I realized that she said the number of rows to do. So I have quite a few rows less on mine, and I should have done the extra. So if I had done the extra, it's funny, like it doesn't really bunch up if you have more. As it is right now, it's kind of stretched, although it doesn't look stretched. But sometimes in some light, you can kind of see the shiny part of the foam underneath. The foam is very similar color to the yarn that I use, so it's not like it shows through. But if I was to do this again, well, I will be doing this again because I'm going to make 3 more wreaths for the next 3 seasons. But I will make sure that I increase my number of rows so that it's not still stretched onto my wreath next time. So that is the wreath covered so far. The other thing that I've done is I've worked on a bunch of the flowers. So for the flowers, I'm using DK weight yarn because that's what I had. These are all either Sheepy's Color Crafter or what's the other one called? Like Stylecraft Special DK, that's what it is. So I have a bunch of the flowers done, and let me show you the flowers I've done so far. So there's 8 colors for the flowers, and you make 4 of each color. So I've made 4 of these turquoise ones. There's 4 here. And I have sewn in the ends. I just did not trim this last end of the white, and that's so that it's easy for me to see right away which side's the front and which side's the back, so that when I'm assembling my wreath, there's no question, and I can just give them a quick trim off. So it's sewn in, I just need to trim that last end. So there's my 4 turquoise ones, and this one is Stylecraft Special DK, and the color on this is turquoise. the next ones I have done are these dark pink ones. Again, there's 4 of them. Those ends are all sewn in, and except for the last end trimmed. So that's them, and the color of this is, and it's Stylecraft Special DK, and the color is pomegranate. So then I have these light pink ones. This one's also, no, it's not Stylecraft Special. No, I got the wrong one. Sorry, I have a whole bag here, this big Walmart bag with all my yarn in here for it. I should have picked the yarn out first. No, you know what? I made these ones last night, so I must have left it on my chair. But these, I believe, were Stylecraft Special DK. I don't remember the color name. So then I have these red ones done. And these red ones are Barneveld, and this is Sheepy's Color Crafter. Barneveld? No, this is Maastricht. The Barneveld is Sheepy's Color Crafter, but that's the white that I'm using. And again, the white is upstairs. I left it on my chair. And I'm using the white for all the centers. Her pattern called for using buttons for the centers. I didn't have a bunch of white buttons. I looked on Amazon and stuff, and I couldn't find them at a price that I was willing to pay for them, so I just decided to crochet in white centers instead. So I have 4 of these yellow ones. Again, all those ends are sewn in. And the yellow that I use for this is Sheepy's Color Crafter. The color is Leerdam. And I got 4 of these light blue ones. This is Stylecraft Special DK, and the color on this is Sherbet. So left to do, I have this orangey peach color, which is Leek, and this is Sheepy's Color Crafter. And this dark purple, which is Deventer. Now, I think this one was one of the colors that I swapped when I did my intro video for this. I think I showed a different color and I didn't have enough of that, so I switched it to this one. So then the other thing that I need to do still is make the bee, which I'm using the same white for the wings and stuff. For the black, I'm using this Loops and Threads Joy DK, which is the color Ink. And I didn't buy this one recently. I had this in my stash. I just haven't used it yet. And the yellow for the bee is this one. This is Sheepy's Color Crafter in the color Gouda. And then there's the hanger, and for the hanger I'm just going to use this pink. I'm not 100% sure what this is. I'm pretty sure this is the Michaels brand. I think it's called Craft Smart. I'm pretty sure that's what this is, but I'm not 100% sure. This is a 4-weight that I just pulled out of my stash. So that is my wreath so far. So I've got till March 21st to get this all finished. I don't think that's going to be any issue. I'm well on my way. I just have 8 more of those flowers to do, and then to work on the bee and then the assembly. So we're well on our way. So for the flowers, because I'm using a lighter weight yarn, I switched it to a 4.5 millimeter hook. I don't often, make Emmergruni with DK weight yarn, so I'll see what size hook I use for that. I will let you guys know that in my final video. And I think that's it. So really excited to get this wreath finished and get it hung up on the wall. I think it's going to look really nice. My wreath will not be going on my door because I don't have a screen on my door. We live, I live in southern Ontario in Canada, and at one time I used to have like a glass storm door behind our front door, but I haven't now for a while since we redid the front of our house where our front door is. Like, we got a new front door, a new window and side window and all that stuff done, and we took the storm door off, And we didn't usually leave the door open for the storm door anyways, because here it tends to be, you either have your heat on or you have your air conditioning on. So generally that door stays closed, and because of the location of it in our house, it doesn't really make sense to leave it open anyways. So we just didn't put a storm door on it when it was replaced. So because of that, I can't have a nice crochet wreath on the outside of my door. So I'm going to actually hang it in the hall near my front door. So that is the plan for my wreaths. So I'm really excited to get this finished up, and I'm really excited to see where Rebecca's at on hers. I will be checking out her video when she posted around the same time as mine, and I'm looking forward to seeing what her final wreath comes out like, and I hope mine looks really great. And so there is a playlist for this collaboration. I will link the playlist in the description box below. I'm gonna link Rebecca's channel in the description box below. The playlist contains both of our videos for the collaboration so far. And what else do I need to say? Seems like there was something else, but I can't think of what it is. So, oh yes. As I mentioned in my last video, if you didn't check that one out, well, feel free to go give it a check out. But as I mentioned in the last one, if you've made a spring wreath before and you'd like us to show it on our final videos on March 21st, my email will be in the description box. I will be glad to show your wreaths in our final video, and that way if others have some spring wreaths that they're interested in doing and they are interested in yours, it's always good to see. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Please go give Rebecca a check out, and we'll see you next time on Lori Hooks. Bye everyone.